Get out of my house! Stop coming and going as you please. Why are you even here? Nobody needs you anymore anyway. Stop pretending to be my mom. You're just a housekeeper who got lucky. Lily, I just got back from grocery shopping. I bought those snacks you mentioned last week. Lily, please stop talking that way. Yes, I used to be a housekeeper, but now I'm your stepmom. I know this transition hasn't been easy for you. It's been 3 years and you still haven't accepted me? 3 years or 30 years, it doesn't matter. You'll always be the woman who ruined my family. You're the reason my mom got kicked out of our house. I don't know how you have the nerve to hang around here. Did you think buying me snacks would make me like you? Pathetic. What are you talking about? Your dad and mom were already separated and in divorce mediation before I came along. I didn't even meet your father until months after they filed for divorce. You're mistaken if you think I'm the reason they split up. That's not what Mom told me. She said you were sniffing around Dad while they were still together. Mistaken or not, that's how I see it. Every time I see your face, I remember how my family fell apart. Dad's too busy to pay attention to you anyway, so why don't you just leave? Is his money worth putting up with being unwanted? Having someone with your IQ in my house literally makes me sick. Your mother is entitled to her version of events, but it's simply not true. How can you talk like that? I understand you're hurting, but insulting me won't fix anything. Don't you think you're being extremely disrespectful? What's disrespectful about it? They're facts. You dropped out of high school and all you know is housekeeping. Did you even pass basic math, or did you drop out before you could count? Meanwhile, I'm studying law at one of the top universities in the country. So you're looking down on me because I didn't finish high school? Do you think education is the only measure of intelligence? Is law school that prestigious to you? A degree alone won't feed you. I built a successful business from nothing. That requires intelligence too. You need to learn some basic professional etiquette before you can enter society. A cleaning business? Please, anyone can scrub toilets. I can't deal with getting lectured by someone with your education level. I'm literally studying to become a lawyer. You have nothing to teach me. Just leave already. You're an eyesore. I don't care if you're the legendary housekeeper or whatever. You just manipulated my dad. He was vulnerable after the divorce and you swooped in. That's not what happened at all. Your father is a grown man who makes his own decisions. We just fell in love. Jake, Lily still seems to misunderstand. She thinks I'm the reason you and her mom got divorced. Which isn't true at all. Can you please talk to her? This has been going on for a while now.
I saw the text. I'm sorry she's being like this again. Just leave her be. It's probably just teenage emotional instability. She's still adjusting to everything.
Jake, she's 20 years old. That's not teenage instability anymore.
I know your kindness bothers you, but there's no real harm. It's best to ignore it. She'll come around eventually.
That's easy for you to say, but I'm getting tired of being insulted all the time. This has been going on for 3 years. Being called stupid because I didn't finish high school, even at my age. It hurts. I feel like I'm walking on eggshells in my own home.
I understand. I'll talk to her about it. Maybe I should take her out to lunch and have a serious conversation. I'm sorry I haven't had time to intervene because of work. Company's been demanding all my attention lately.
Your company hasn't been doing well lately, right? You've been coming home later and looking stressed. Let me know if there's anything I can do to help.
Things are worse than I've let on. We may have a cash flow problem soon. I didn't want to rely on you, but I might have to. Is there any way you could help with some of our expenses for a while?
Of course. Why didn't you tell me sooner? We're married after all. Your problems are my problems.
Thank you. I'm sorry for being so unreliable. I should be handling the situation with Lily myself. And I should be able to provide for our family without asking for help.
It's okay. I know it's tough. That's what partners are for. I'll try to manage things with Lily on my end, including her tuition for this semester.
You're amazing. I don't know what I'd do without you.
throwing out your stuff if it's still here when I get home today. I already put some of your clothes in garbage bags. Just leave already. You're seriously an eyesore. Dad would be better off without you dragging him down. Excuse me? You did what with my clothes? That's crossing a serious line, Lily. That's my home too. Enough is enough. What are you going to do about it? Tell Dad? He's always too busy to deal with our little squabbles. I'm seriously going to throw your stuff out. Mom says she wants to come back home. So I'm getting things ready for her. What? Your mother wants to come back? When did you speak to her? Jake hasn't said anything to me about this. Are you making this up? Mom texted me yesterday. We've been talking. Dad doesn't matter. This is Mom's and my house, too. Mom had a hard time after being kicked out. But things have settled down, so she wants to come back. She says she misses our old life together. Hard time? Your dad is the one who had it rough. Do you even know why they divorced? Huh? What are you talking about? Dad got bored and wanted someone younger. That's what Mom told me. First of all, you haven't talked to your mom in forever. Don't you find it suspicious she's suddenly contacting you? And I'm hardly younger than your mother. We're basically the same age. Mom has her reasons, okay? She's been going through some stuff. You don't understand anything, so just shut up. Stop trying to poison me against my own mother. You're really going that far. For 3 years, I've tried to be someone you could like. I've made every effort to build a good relationship. I've cooked your favorite meals, helped with your homework, attended your school events. But it was all pointless. I see that now. I can't keep trying when you're threatening to throw away my belongings. It's exhausting. Having to pretend to be grateful for your mediocre cooking. As if anyone would like a high school dropout with no brain. You came for Dad's money, so just disappear, you gold-digging trash. Though I guess there isn't much money left to dig for. I've told you to watch your language, but it seems pointless to say anything to you anymore. I've reached my limit with your disrespect. Because nothing you say means anything. A high school dropout outsider shouldn't act like my mom. Stay away from me. I'm a law school elite. I don't need parenting from someone who couldn't even finish basic education. Then I guess you don't need tuition support either. Since you're such an elite, you can handle that yourself. Don't need it. Were you even supporting me? I don't feel like you were. You've never done anything for me. Acting all high and mighty. Dad pays for everything. He always has. You're right. The annual $12,000 tuition isn't a big deal, right? You probably have that much saved up from your part-time job at the cafe. Huh? What are you talking about? What $12,000? So for you and your birth mother, $12,000 is nothing, right? The amount I've been paying for your tuition each year. The money that comes from my stupid cleaning business. Well then, from now on, I'm completely stepping back. You're a total stranger to me now. That's how I'll think of you. Since you've made it clear that's how you see me. Good. I don't know what this $12,000 thing is about, but you've always been a stranger to me anyway. You're just making stuff up now to seem important. Dad would never let you pay my tuition. Right. So I'll think of you that way too, but don't come to the house anymore, okay? Your key won't work anyway. I'm changing the locks tomorrow. Huh? What do you mean? You can't keep me out of my own house. Jake and I will be living in the apartment now, so you can go to your birth mother's place. Since you two are so close now and she wants to come back, I'm sure she'll be happy to have you. You're finally showing your true colors. That's it, right? You're kicking me out to steal Dad's money. I knew you were just after his money all along. What are you talking about? This place was originally rented for us, and you were supposed to live on your own. You were the one who insisted on staying here instead of campus housing. You can't kick me out even if you wanted to. Actually, I'm the one paying rent, so if I get kicked out, no one can live here. Including you. Huh? What do you mean? You pay the rent? No way. Dad wouldn't let you do that. You think you can kick me out and bring your mom in? The adult world isn't that simple. Leases have names on them. This one has mine. Your dad wouldn't go along with that anyway. Jake wants to be with me. Not your mother, who nearly destroyed his company. What? Dad would choose you over me and Mom? No way, you're lying. What do you mean Mom destroyed his company? If you think I'm lying, why don't you ask him directly? Jake won't be ambiguous anymore, I think. I'm making my position clear too. I'm done being your emotional punching bag. Strangers need to leave our home. Pack your things by the weekend. What's with that attitude? You're really pissing me off. You can't just decide this on your own. Wait until Dad hears about this. Whatever. I'll live with Mom. She actually loves me, unlike you two. Dad can wake up whenever you've scammed all his money. He'll realize what a mistake he made choosing you. Scam his money? Your dad doesn't have that kind of money to begin with. His company has been struggling financially for months. Huh? What do you mean? Dad's company is huge. He's always had money. That's our business. But you should know your mother is partly responsible for your father's current situation. Well, goodbye. Take care. As you wished, let's cut all ties. I hope your mother can support you now. Hey, the school handed me a tuition notice. They say it's unpaid and I need to pay. What's going on? They're saying if I don't pay by next week, I'll be dropped from my classes. Are you there? Who is this? I thought we became strangers with no contact. Why are you texting me? We're strangers, remember? As you so clearly wanted. Look, I don't care about that petty stuff right now. Just answer me. This is serious. They're threatening to drop me from law school. Isn't tuition paid from Dad's account? Did you stop it? Did you tell Dad not to pay my tuition to get back at me? I've been paying your tuition all this time. Not your father. His company hasn't had the resources to cover it for over a year. That's way too much of a joke. There's no way that's true. You're just saying that to mess with me. Think what you want, but that's the fact. Check with the school if you don't believe me. Ask who's been making the payments. Just last week, actually. Your semester tuition was due. But since you wanted to be strangers, I figured I didn't need to pay it anymore. Strangers who don't pay each other's tuition bills. Wait, so you deliberately didn't pay? You knew this would happen? How could you do this to me? Of course. I can't just casually drop $6,000 on a stranger. Especially one who treats me like dirt and threatens to throw out my belongings. I've been using my savings from when I was the legendary housekeeper to pay your tuition all this time. While you mocked my profession and education. What? Are you serious? Why would you do that? The only reason you could attend that expensive private university is because the stupid dropout you've been mocking has been paying your tuition from her hard-earned savings. Surprised? I did it because I care about your future, even when you treated me horribly. But everyone has their breaking point. You're lying. I can't believe this. Dad would never let you pay for me. He has his pride. This has to be some kind of sick joke. If you think I'm lying, ask your dad. I'm sure you'll run crying to him when you can't pay tuition. Or try asking your mom. Though I doubt she has any money to spare. She's been struggling since the divorce settlement. This makes no sense. I don't believe anything you say. I'm calling Dad right now to sort this out. Believe what you want. The truth is the truth, whether you believe it or not. Don't contact me anymore. Oh, and I changed the locks, so don't try coming back to the house. Your things are packed in boxes by the door if you need them. You're seriously pissing me off. You're the worst. I can't believe Dad married someone like you. Goodbye, then. Good luck with law school. I asked Dad for tuition money and he refused. He confirmed what you said. He can't pay it. I thought he was paying the full amount all along. I had no idea you were paying. I don't know what to do now. I told you. Why do you keep contacting me after saying we're strangers? So persistent. Find another solution that doesn't involve me. Plus, he said the business is doing badly, so he can't pay. And if you're mad at me, there's no way he can help. He looks so stressed. What happened to his company? It used to be so successful. Of course. His company is struggling because of your mom, and I was just thinking it's about time I stepped in to help. I've been holding back because I was focused on supporting you. But now I can redirect those resources. Help how? What can a high school dropout like you do? Sorry, that came out wrong. I'm just frustrated. But seriously, how can you help a whole company? You're still mocking my education at this point? After learning I've been paying your tuition? I created my own housekeeping business and became famous as the legendary housekeeper. In other words, I have connections to big players in the industry. CEOs trust me in their homes. I know people who can help your father's business. Huh? Despite dropping out? I didn't know your business was that successful. It's not just about education. Success doesn't depend on that alone. Hard work, integrity, and building relationships matter too. Your mom embezzled money from your dad's company, causing it to decline. That's why your dad kicked her out. He had to, or he would have been buried in debt. She blamed me for it. You've been making assumptions, but if you'd been a little more level-headed and considered the situation, things might have been different. Now you know the truth. What's that about? I had no idea. Mom embezzled money? That can't be true. Why didn't Dad ever tell me? So basically, you need to support yourself from now on. I'm a stranger now, so obviously I won't help. Your dad basically has no financial flexibility, so he can't support you. Have you tried asking your birth mother? Since she wants to come back and all. I contacted her and she read it, but she's not responding. I've sent her 5 messages since yesterday. She was so eager to talk before, but now she's gone silent. Just as I thought. She only reached out when she thought she could use you. Now that you need her, she's disappeared. She seemed happy when I said we could live together, but when I asked where she lives, she wouldn't tell me. I'm staying at a friend's place now. Her couch isn't comfortable, but at least I have somewhere to sleep. Good that you have friends. Now that you understand you need to pay your own tuition, work hard towards independence. That's part of becoming an adult. Good luck. Emma, please help me. I know I have no right to ask, but I'm desperate. Please. Who is this? I don't recognize this number. We can drop that act now. You couldn't have forgotten me. It's Lily. Oh, the self-centered stepdaughter, Lily. You've been quiet lately, so I thought you were working hard on being independent. What do you want? Something terrible happened. Since you and Dad wouldn't pay my tuition, I tried to find a quick way to make money. I started working part-time, but balancing it with studies was tough, so I wanted a faster way to earn cash. I made a really stupid decision. That's some pretty short-sighted thinking. But I'm listening. What happened? I tried to create controversy online to make money, posting inflammatory content. I thought I could get famous quickly and make money from sponsorships. What? I don't even understand what you're saying. You tried to become an internet celebrity by being controversial? Basically, I tried to start drama for money by making accounts to post nasty stuff, thinking I wouldn't get caught, but I got caught right away. I said some really awful things about certain groups, and someone recognized my writing style. Wait, what? That's an incredibly poor decision for someone studying law. Did you not think about the consequences? Apparently, someone from the law firm where I was supposed to intern saw those posts, and now my internship is canceled. They said my online behavior was unbecoming of a future legal professional and showed poor judgment and character. That sounds like you brought this on yourself. That's a natural consequence of your actions. What did you expect would happen? So anyway, that's what happened. I have no money, no internship, I got fired from my part-time job, and I can't pay tuition. My friend is asking me to find somewhere else to stay too. What should I do? I'm screwed. My whole future is falling apart.
Why are you coming to me with this? You made it clear we're strangers. This seems like a personal problem.
Emma, you have money, right? You could help me if you wanted to. I know I've been terrible to you, but please.
So you mock me, call me stupid, look down on me, try to throw out my stuff and kick me out. And you think I'll help you? That's quite presumptuous.
You'll help me, right? I'm Dad's daughter after all. Which means I'm your daughter too. Family helps family.
After constantly calling me a stranger and insulting me, you only come asking for help when it's convenient for you. You're not just failing as a professional, but as a human being. Now suddenly I'm family? That's not how relationships work, Lily.
Hey! Wow. You're going that far? Are you really going to let me lose everything over some hurt feelings?
You finally understand who made it possible for you to live normally as a college student, right? So reflect on your actions, regret them, and figure out how to move forward on your own. This isn't about hurt feelings, it's about respect and consequences. You're an adult, act like one.
Wait, Emma. I didn't know. I was confused about a lot of things, and nobody cleared up my misunderstandings. I really thought you were the reason my parents divorced, so I was upset and said nasty things, but I didn't truly mean them. I was just lashing out because I was hurt. I'm sorry. I really regret it. Can you please help me a little? I want to keep going to college. I'll make it up to you, I promise.
I refuse. Your apology sounds like it's motivated by your need for money, not genuine remorse.
Huh? Why? Isn't this where you're supposed to agree? I apologized.
I don't know what you're talking about, but for me, this is over. Our relationship is strictly as strangers now, so I have no obligation to help you. Your actions have consequences. This is one of them.
Please wait. I have no one else to turn to. You understand, right? I just need to borrow some money. At least enough for this semester's tuition and some living expenses. I'll pay you back when I graduate and get a job.
Don't mess with me, you spoiled brat.
Huh? Emma?
You've been disrespectful this whole time, and then you go and do something stupid that costs you your internship. You brought this on yourself. You can't go to the internship anyway. If you can't pay tuition, you won't be a student anymore. These are all direct results of your choices.
That's why I'm asking for help. I made a mistake. People make mistakes. Please, Emma, I'm begging you.
What I'm saying is this is all your own doing. You caused this mess, so you need to take responsibility and clean it up yourself. Don't come crying to me about it. Maybe this is the wake-up call you need. So truly, goodbye this time. Don't contact me again until you learn to stand on your own and respect others.
Thanks to your help, the company's recovered, and our anniversary's coming up. Should we celebrate somewhere? I'm thinking of that nice restaurant by the beach.
I'm glad. If I could help even a little, that makes me happy. The contacts from my cleaning business really came through. Looking forward to dinner. The beach restaurant sounds perfect.
About Lily? She's taking a break from school and seriously working to save money. She said she's aiming to return to school. She's working 2 jobs now.
Is that so? That's good. It's not easy, but she'll learn valuable lessons. If she needs it, maybe introduce her to some night schools she could visit. That might be easier to manage while working. If she has dreams, she should pursue them. Just maybe with a bit more humility now.
Emma, Thank you so much. For everything you've done for our family.
For what? If anything, I feel like I might have done something I shouldn't have. I got angry at her attitude, but she's your precious daughter. I understand wanting her to have a good education. So I was secretly supporting her, but I stopped, and I was worried that might have been hard on you, Jake.
You were thinking about that too? I'm kind of embarrassed about myself. I should have been more involved. I'm grateful about Lily. The fact that she realized she needed to be independent and handle things herself is because you finally woke her up. My ex-wife poisoned Lily's mind, which made you suffer. Lily wasn't originally such a bad kid. But I think our divorce was shocking for her. She developed a twisted perspective. I should have set her straight years ago.
I understand. It was tough back then. Jake couldn't really be there for Lily, so hopefully things will improve from here. You had your own struggles to deal with.
I think they already are. At least my company's recovering, and Lily has recognized her mistakes and said she wants to properly apologize to you someday. She's been asking about you.
Let's hold off on that. I think I'll keep my distance for now. She needs to learn independence first. But I'm happy you said that. It shows she's growing. Let's continue supporting each other. And focus on getting your company back on stable ground.
You're right, as always. She needs to learn on her own. I'm just glad you're still here with me through all this.
Emma, it's me again. I know you asked me not to contact you until I learned to stand on my own. I think I'm getting there.
Hello, Lily. I've heard from your father that you've been working hard.
I have been. 2 jobs plus night classes. It's exhausting, but I think I'm learning important lessons. The convenience store manager just promoted me to shift supervisor.
That's impressive. Congratulations. How are the night classes going?
Challenging, but good. The professors are understanding of my work schedule. I've saved almost enough for next semester's tuition. Not at my old university, of course. Something more affordable.
That shows a lot of maturity, choosing something within your means.
I wanted to thank you for not helping me when I asked. As weird as that sounds.
What do you mean?
If you had bailed me out, I would have learned nothing. I needed to face the consequences of my actions. I'm still embarrassed about how I treated you all those years.
We all make mistakes, Lily. The important thing is learning from them.
I'd like to meet sometime when you're ready. No expectations, just to talk properly.
I think that could be arranged. Maybe coffee next weekend. Your father would be happy to see us getting along.
I'd like that. Thank you, Emma. And I truly am sorry for everything.
I know. Let's move forward from here. The other day, Lily, who once took a leave of absence and now attends night school while working at a convenience store, came to our home. Her once arrogant attitude was gone, and she bowed her head with a tired face. Seeing her apologize while kneeling made my heart ache. Her behavior back then was certainly inexcusable, but young Lily still has a long life ahead of her. Her birth mother refused to help, and Jake's company couldn't support her due to financial troubles, so Lily's options kept narrowing. This was society's punishment for her arrogant attitude of looking down on others. I didn't need to do anything special. Society itself proved how distorted her values were. I won't forgive her immediately, but depending on her attitude going forward, we might gradually improve our relationship. For now, I want to see her stand on her own before deciding. Until then, I'll watch from a distance and observe her true feelings. As long as her connection to Jake remains, our relationship continues too. I can only pray that she realizes her mistakes and improves.
Liz, how are things going on your side? Are you managing to get by all right?
Sorry for suddenly reaching out. It's just that I started to worry about you.
Oh, about that.
Is something wrong?
Could you do me a favor and never contact me again?
What? Wait, what's going on? Is this some sort of joke?
Does anything about this seem like a joke to you? I'm completely serious.
Did I do something to upset you? If I've offended you in any way, I'll apologize.
No, it's not that.
Then why?
Why, you ask? Isn't it obvious? I don't want a pensioner hanging around my life anymore.
What is that supposed to mean?
About 6 months ago, I came across a letter addressed to you by accident. It said your pension is just $650.
Wait, you went through my mail without permission?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. Are you losing your memory already? Honestly, it just proves how much of a burden you've become. I should have cut ties with you sooner. I mean, the idea of taking care of an unrelated old woman is just absurd to me. And honestly, you've always been an annoyance. Having someone who isn't even family loitering around the house, it's been unbearable. And then there's how you act like you're my mother just because you married my father. Seriously, it's disgusting.
This is unbelievable. I knew you didn't like me, but I didn't think you'd go so far as to think these things.
How could you not know? The only reason I tolerated you until now was that you were useful for doing housework and running errands.
If you felt that way, why didn't you just move out and live independently sooner? You're already 35 years old, yet you don't work, you don't help with housework, and you spend your days lazing around.
Excuse me? Who do you think you are to speak to me like that? You're disgusting.
You were the one who started with insults. And now, just because I said something back, you can't handle it?
Shut up! And for your information, I've already moved out of the house.
Simply moving out doesn't mean you've become independent. All you've done is switch from leeching off your parents to leeching off your husband.
Look at you, scrambling for words. It's so pathetic.
I get it. Whenever you're cornered and can't come up with a comeback, you resort to insults and deflection. You really are someone who values their pride above everything else, aren't you?
Okay, whatever you say. I've got you figured out anyway. You probably thought you could secure your future by cozying up to my husband since he's a company president, didn't you? Too bad for you, though. I'm cutting you off completely. Don't even think about trying to latch onto my husband or our life anymore.
So, you're saying you're cutting ties with me entirely?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Are you absolutely certain about this?
Wow, this is just pitiful. You're nothing but a miserable old hag panicking because she's about to be abandoned. It doesn't matter what you say anymore. It's already too late. Just do as I say and disappear.
All right, I understand.
Oh, and another thing. Don't even think about spreading lies about me to Dad. You love playing the victim, don't you? But guess what? He's not going to buy it.
I wasn't planning to.
Sure. You always act so noble, don't you? Always pretending to take the high road. It's laughable, but let me give you a heads up. I've already told him how much of a burden you've been on me.
A burden? I did everything I could to keep this family together after your mother passed. I gave my time, my energy, and this is how you repay me?
Oh, please, spare me the sob story. Do you honestly think I care? You weren't doing it for me. You were doing it for yourself. You wanted to play the martyr. Well, congratulations. You did a great job.
You have no idea what I went through, what I sacrificed.
Sacrificed? Hilarious! You think staying in this house was a sacrifice?
Nobody asked you to stick around. I stayed because your father asked me to, because I believed this family needed someone to support it.
And look how well that turned out. You're delusional if you think anyone needed you. Honestly, the best thing you can do now is to just disappear.
Is this really what you want? To sever all ties? To throw away everything?
Yes, it is. And the sooner you get that through your head, the better.
Fine. If that's how you feel, I won't bother you again.
Good. That's exactly what I wanted to hear.
Heather, good evening.
Oh, Kyle, what brings you here?
I was wondering if I could ask for some advice about running my business.
Oh, Kyle, I'm not exactly the kind of person who should be giving advice to others about things like that.
Oh, come now, don't say that. I've always admired you and wanted to learn from you.
Well, about that. First, can we address something? The way you call me Heather, I think it's best if I'm honest. I don't see us as family anymore.
Wait, what? What do you mean by that? I'm Liz's husband and Liz is your stepdaughter, so is it because she's not your biological daughter? Are you saying that as her husband, I'm not family either?
No, that's not it. I've always considered Liz my daughter, even though we're not related by blood. And because of that, I've also thought of you, her husband, as part of the family.
Then why? Why are you saying this now?
It's because Liz told me the other day that she wants to cut ties with me.
What? She said that? But why?
She said she doesn't need some pensioner hanging around her life. That she doesn't want to take care of an old woman who isn't even related by blood.
That can't be true. There must be some kind of misunderstanding.
I wish it were a misunderstanding, but that's what she said. And because of that, Liz decided to sever ties with me. So, I think it's only right to say that you and I are not family anymore either.
No, wait, I don't even know what to say. What was the point of all this? Why did I even get married if...
By the way, I've been hearing rumors. They say your company's in trouble, that the business isn't doing so well. Is that true? Were you hoping for some kind of financial support from me?
No, I mean, it's not like that.
I see. I'm sorry, Kyle. It's not that I bear any ill will towards you, but I'm afraid I can't help you. You'll have to find a way to turn the company around on your own.
I understand, but still, this just feels so unfair.
Hey, stop ignoring me. Answer the phone already.
You're so persistent, calling me hundreds of times like this. What is your problem?
It's your fault for ignoring me.
Weren't you the one who told me never to contact you again?
That's not how I meant it. I meant you shouldn't contact me. But that doesn't give you a reason to ignore me when I call.
You're unbelievably selfish. I always knew you had a terrible personality. But this is a new low.
That doesn't matter right now. What I want to know is, what's going on? Kyle is furious and saying he's going to divorce me. Why is this happening? Explain yourself!
Didn't Kyle tell you what's going on?
He told me, but it doesn't make any sense. He seems upset about me cutting ties with you, but isn't that ridiculous? Kyle should feel the same. You're nothing but a meddling stepmother to him, not even related by blood. Honestly, cutting ties with you was supposed to be for Kyle's benefit too. So why am I the one being scolded here?
So, is that all Kyle told you?
No, there's more. He also said something like, if I couldn't be connected to Heather, I wouldn't have married you. What does that even mean? Heather, that's you, isn't it?
Ah, so Kyle's true intentions are finally out in the open.
What? Gross! What are you saying? There's no way someone like you would be the reason. Don't flatter yourself.
That's not what I mean. He wasn't after me as a person. He was after my resources. To be specific, my money, my connections, and the influence I hold.
What are you even talking about?
You really have no clue, do you? You've lived under the same roof with me for so long, and yet you understand nothing. I may be retired now, but I still own several companies. They're part of a fairly large business group.
What? That can't be true.
Why not?
Because you've never shown any sign of it.
I told you, didn't I? I'm mostly retired. I worked non-stop when I was younger, and it wore me out. But surely you remember those visitors who used to come to the house occasionally?
I thought those people were Dad's clients.
No, they were my old associates. Sometimes they would visit me for advice on business decisions. But then again, you always holed up in your room whenever we had guests, so I guess I can't blame you for misunderstanding.
But that doesn't explain why this has anything to do with Kyle. Why is he talking about divorce?
Isn't it obvious? It's simple, really. Kyle never actually loved you.
What?
Didn't you know? Kyle's company is struggling financially. That's why he married you, to gain access to my support.
That's ridiculous. That can't be true. He took me to expensive restaurants and gave me wonderful gifts.
That's nothing more than a cheap investment on his part. A little digging would have shown you that his company is on the verge of collapse. But no, you only cared about the fact that he had the title of CEO.
That's not true. I married him because I love him.
Sure, and now you can support him, even if his company goes bankrupt and he's left penniless.
Wait!
What now? You said you love him, didn't you? That shouldn't change, even if he loses his CEO title.
No, I love him, and that's why I need to help him before it gets to that point. Please, Mom, you can do something, can't you? Help him out.
I could probably do something about it.
Thank goodness. Then there's no problem.
I could, but I won't.
What? Why not?
Why should I?
Because if his company collapses, I'll be affected too. You're my mother. Help me.
Ah, and that right there is the problem.
What do you mean?
Of course a mother would help her daughter if she's in trouble.
Then...
But you're not my daughter anymore, are you?
How could you say something so cruel?
Cruel? Weren't you the one who declared we were cutting ties?
That's because I didn't know you were such an important person.
Do you really think that excuses it? And stop calling me Mom.
Please, don't say things like that. I take it back. I take it all back.
It's too late for that now.
Why? Why are you doing this?
Because I dislike you, obviously.
No.
Why would you think I wouldn't? You're horrible. Funny, those were your exact words to me.
I've had enough. I was stupid to even think of asking you for help.
Well, at least we can agree on one thing. You are indeed stupid.
I was willing to meet you halfway, but I don't need Kyle specifically.
What are you saying?
I'm incredibly popular, you know? There are plenty of other men vying for my attention. If I'd known Kyle was such a pathetic excuse for a man, I never would have chosen him. I'll divorce him myself. There are tons of men who are completely smitten with me.
Unbelievable.
What's unbelievable? That's the truth. Too bad for you. You tried to sabotage me, but it's all pointless.
That's not what I meant when I said unbelievable. Kyle married you for my support, didn't he?
It seems so. Truly, he's a terrible man. I was completely deceived.
And what about the other men who are smitten with you? Do you think they're any different?
What?
Think about it. You're 35 years old, still living at home until recently, and you've never held a job or helped with household chores. You don't have any particular skills, and frankly, you're not exactly a beauty queen. How could you suddenly become so popular?
What are you saying? I'm plenty attractive.
Oh, then what's the reason for your newfound popularity?
There are lots of reasons. Maybe I've grown more alluring with age.
Sure, some women do become more attractive as they grow older.
Exactly! That's what
But those women have worked hard, lived fulfilling lives, and developed themselves through their experiences. That's not you.
How dare you? I've worked hard too.
Have you, though?
Of course I have. Look at all the men who find me charming.
Deep down, you know the truth, don't you? They're all just like Kyle. Word must have gotten out that you're my daughter. Ambitious men are flocking to you, hoping to use you as a stepping stone.
No way! They all tell me I'm cute and...
Let me expand in another submission. They tell you you're cute, that you're charming. That's nothing but flattery, designed to make you drop your guard. And you, desperate for attention and validation, lap it up like a fool.
Stop it! Stop talking like that! You don't know anything about me or my relationships!
Oh, but I do. After all, you've been living under my roof all this time. I've watched you flit from one meaningless hobby to another, never committing to anything for more than a few months. You've never held a job or taken responsibility for anything. And now you're expecting me to clean up the mess you've made of your life?
I didn't make a mess of anything. It's not my fault Kyle turned out to be a liar.
Kyle's behavior is his own responsibility. But you chose to marry him. You chose to ignore the warning signs, and now you're paying the price for your own poor judgment.
How could you be so heartless?
Heartless? You were the one who told me to stay out of your life. You made it abundantly clear that you wanted nothing to do with me. So why should I care about what happens to you now?
I didn't mean it. I was just angry.
And that's supposed to excuse your behavior? Do you think you can say whatever you want, hurt whoever you want, and then just take it all back when it's convenient for you?
I'm your daughter.
Not anymore. You forfeited that right when you told me you wanted to cut ties.
No, I didn't mean it. Please, I'll do anything. Just help me fix this.
Anything? That's quite a promise.
I mean it. I'll do whatever it takes.
Fine. Here's what you're going to do. First, you're going to divorce Kyle.
Divorce him? But
No buts. If you want my help, that's the first step. Kyle is only using you, and the longer you stay married to him, the more damage he'll do.
All right, I'll divorce him.
Good. Once that's done, you're going to get a job.
A job?
Yes, a job, and I don't mean some cushy position handed to you by one of my connections. You're going to find a job on your own and learn what it means to work for a living.
I've never worked before.
That's exactly the problem. It's time for you to grow up and take responsibility for your own life.
But what kind of job am I supposed to get?
That's up to you. Find something you're capable of doing. Start small if you have to. The important thing is that you're doing something productive.
I don't know if I can do it.
You can and you will. You don't have a choice anymore.
And what about you?
What about me?
Will you be there for me?
I'll be watching, but don't expect me to hold your hand every step of the way. If you want my support, you're going to have to earn it.
I understand.
Do you really?
Yes, I'll do it. I'll do whatever it takes.
We'll see. Actions speak louder than words. And don't think this is a one-time fix. You're going to have to prove yourself every single day. I won't just forgive you for your mistakes because you say you're sorry.
I know, I understand. I'll prove it to you.
Good. Let's start with the divorce. Don't even think about dragging it out. Get it done quickly.
But what if Kyle wants to fight it? He's not going to let me go that easily.
Then let him fight, but don't expect me to step in and save you. You wanted to cut ties, and you're going to have to follow through with it. You're an adult now, and it's time to stop running away from your problems.
I don't know if I can handle this.
You can, and you will. It's not about whether you can handle it or not. It's about doing what needs to be done, and you'll find a way, or you'll fail. There's no middle ground anymore.
I hate that you're making me feel like this, like I'm worthless.
I'm not making you feel anything. You're making yourself feel worthless by refusing to take responsibility for your actions. You've been playing the victim for far too long, and it's time to stop.
I've been trying, Mom. I've been trying to fix things.
Then show me. Show me that you're serious. I'm not going to hold your hand through this. It's time for you to take charge of your own life.
I will. I promise.
Don't make promises you can't keep.
I won't. I mean it. I'm going to change. I'll get a job. I'll divorce Kyle. I'll do whatever it takes to make things right.
I hope you do, because if you don't bother coming back to me for help.
What if I fail?
Then you'll have to pick yourself up and try again. No one's going to do it for you.
But what if I can't do it? What if I mess up?
That's the point. You will mess up. But it's how you handle the mess-ups that matter. Life isn't about never failing. It's about how you rise after you fail.
You're being so hard on me.
I'm being hard because I know you're capable of more. I'm being hard because I know you can do better. But you have to want it, and right now, you don't look like you want it.
I do. I really do. I'll show you. I'll prove it.
Show me then. Prove it with your actions, not your words.
You'll see. I'll change.
I'm not interested in hearing your promises anymore. I'll believe it when I see it.
Hey, what's going on? Why can't I open the door to the house?
Well, the thing is, I changed the locks.
What? Why?
Why? I'd like to ask you that question. Isn't it a little too soon?
Too soon? What are you talking about?
You made such a big deal out of everything, and now it's only been 2 days since then, hasn't it?
Well, that's because after I told everyone that I had cut ties with my mother, everyone's attitude changed completely.
See? I told you so.
What's with that tone? I'm the victim here. How can you talk to your daughter who's been hurt and deceived by a man like that? You can't say things like that. Anyway, let me into the house. I'm tired. I'm hurt.
No, I won't. It's disturbing to have someone I don't even know wandering around my house.
How can you say something so cruel?
Well, that's exactly what you said to me before.
I'm sorry. I may have had some issues too. I regret it, and I apologize. So please, forgive me.
I also, and may have, you say. You haven't really reflected on anything, have you?
Of course I have. Why are you being so mean?
Well, you can keep playing the victim if you want. But you're not getting into this house. Besides, I'm putting this house up for sale.
What? Why?
I plan to move to the countryside and live a more peaceful life.
What is that supposed to mean? I don't want to live in the countryside.
Don't worry, I'm not planning to tell you where I'm moving. Actually, I was going to move out quickly, but I didn't expect you to come crying to me so soon.
Wait a minute. Then what am I supposed to do?
I don't know.
What's that supposed to mean? There's no way Dad will let this happen.
I've already discussed it with him. There's no way I can take care of you anymore.
Wait! Fine. I'll live in the countryside too. I'll bear with it.
No. I've already surpassed my limit for putting up with things.
I'll help with the housework. That's it. Look, both Mom and Dad are getting old, right? Aren't you worried about the future? I can help take care of them.
Don't worry about it. We've saved enough for our retirement, so it's all taken care of. And you don't need to force yourself. You were the one who said it, right? You'd never want to take care of some old lady who's not even your blood relative.
Well, that's...
And I feel the same way too.
Huh? What do you mean by that?
I won't take care of anyone who's not even related to me. I absolutely refuse to do that.
I can't believe you.
So, that's the situation. Don't ever contact me again.
Wait, you're seriously not going to help me? After everything I've gone through, you're just going to turn me away like this?
I told you, I can't help you anymore. You've made your choices, and now you have to live with them. I'm done with the drama.
I haven't had a choice in any of this. You have no idea what I've been through. You don't know how hard it's been for me.
I know it's been hard, but that doesn't mean I have to carry your burdens anymore. I've got my own life to think about. Everyone has their own struggles.
That's exactly it. You just don't get it, do you? You've always been so focused on your own life, never understanding how tough it is for me.
You think I don't understand? You think it's easy for me too? I've had my share of difficulties, but I don't go around blaming everyone for them. I've worked hard for what I have, and I don't expect handouts from anyone.
You're always so self-righteous. You think you're the only one who's had to work hard, but you don't know what it's like to be completely alone, to feel like there's no one left to turn to.
I'm not trying to be self-righteous, but I can't keep enabling you. You need to face reality, and I need to move on with my life.
You just don't care about me at all. do you? After everything I've done for you, you can just throw me out like this?
It's not about not caring. I do care about you, but there's nothing more I can do. You've made your decisions, and now you have to deal with the consequences.
I hate you. I hate everything about this. How can you just turn your back on me like this?
I'm not turning my back on you. I'm just letting you go. You need to figure things out on your own now. My daughter-in-law contacted me multiple times, but every time I ignored her. I didn't want to engage, not because I didn't care, but because the situation had reached a point where it felt like the only option I had. It wasn't just about the usual annoyance or misunderstanding. There was a much deeper issue at the core of why I couldn't bring myself to help her out. Even though I could see she was struggling, she had put herself in a position where there was no easy way out. And her behavior had alienated everyone around her, including me. She had always lived at her parents' house, which in itself wasn't necessarily a bad thing. But over time, I had noticed that she hadn't developed strong friendships or any meaningful connections with others. It wasn't that she didn't try, it just seemed that, in a way, she withdrew from everyone. Most of her time was spent in isolation, focusing on what was wrong in her life rather than seeking out help or companionship. Her life had slowly been shrinking, and without anyone to turn to, it became clear that she was losing hope. Things had gotten even worse when her marriage to Kyle, her husband, ended in divorce. It wasn't a sudden decision. Their marriage had been on a downward spiral for quite a while. They fought constantly, and it was clear to anyone who paid attention that neither of them was happy. When they finally separated, I could see that she was unprepared for the aftermath. Divorce is always difficult, especially when you don't have a support system. She found herself alone, without the emotional backup of her husband, and without a reliable group of friends to fall back on. The fact that she had no one to lean on made the entire experience more painful for her. She had lost her connection to everything familiar, and the fear of starting over in such a broken state was overwhelming for her. As if that weren't enough, the men who had once shown interest in her when things were still good between her and Kyle completely turned their backs on her. I can't say I was surprised, but it certainly added to her feelings of abandonment. These men who had flirted with her when she was married no longer paid her any attention once her marriage ended. It was as though they had used her, and when they no longer had any reason to keep in touch, they simply vanished. The blow to her self-esteem was crushing. The rejection she faced from these men at such a vulnerable time made her feel like she was completely worthless. A feeling I can only imagine was even more devastating for her than the divorce itself. With no one to turn to and nowhere else to go, she did something that I still find difficult to comprehend. She ran to the police. She was desperate and clearly didn't know what else to do. In her mind, her situation had become unbearable. And the only way she could think of to get the help she needed was to claim that being kicked out of her own house was abuse. I couldn't believe it when I first heard. I knew that she was in trouble, but this seemed like an extreme way of handling things. She wasn't a child, she was a grown woman, 35 years old. And yet, here she was, throwing herself at the mercy of the police, claiming abuse. It was hard to reconcile the image of this adult woman with the helpless figure she had become. The police listened to her side of the story, as they were obligated to do. After hearing her out, one officer, who seemed to have some experience with these types of situations, responded calmly. He told her, "You're 35 years old now. Maybe it's time you started learning how to stand on your own 2 feet. This might be difficult, but perhaps this is a sign that you need to try to become independent." His words were not harsh, but they were firm and logical. She was no longer a young girl. She was an adult, and it was time for her to face the reality that she had to take responsibility for her life, no matter how hard it was. But instead of taking those words to heart, she completely broke down. She collapsed in front of the officers and began to sob uncontrollably. She cried so loudly that it was difficult to ignore, and it was clear to everyone in that police station that she had reached her breaking point. She screamed and wailed, demanding that someone, anyone, help her. The scene was chaotic, and I could only imagine how the officers must have felt, but I wasn't there. I wasn't the one witnessing her desperate outburst. All I knew was that, in that moment, I felt a deep sense of shame. I was embarrassed. I could feel the heat rush to my face when I got the phone call from the officer who had been handling her case. The officer explained to me what had happened, and he also mentioned that my daughter-in-law had asked him if I could take her in and look after her. She was asking for shelter, support, anything that would help her through this crisis. The shame I felt in that moment was indescribable. Here she was, a grown woman, making such a scene and asking me, her mother-in-law, to take care of her as though she were a child. I couldn't. It wasn't that I didn't care about her. I did, but there was only so much I could do. I had my own life, my own responsibilities. I didn't have the emotional energy to offer her the kind of help she needed. She had made choices that led her to this point, and now it was time for her to face those choices. I politely declined the officer's suggestion. I told him that I couldn't take her in. Not because I didn't want to help her, but because I didn't think it would be good for her. She needed to face the consequences of her actions, and I couldn't be the one to shield her from that. The officer did not argue with me. Instead, he expressed some sympathy for the situation. He understood, in a way, that I wasn't being heartless. He didn't try to convince me otherwise. He simply wished me the best and moved on. From that point onward, things didn't get any better for her. She couldn't keep a job for long. Each time she found something, it seemed like she couldn't make it work. She wasn't disciplined enough, and her financial situation grew worse. She accumulated more and more debt, and the life she was leading became a constant struggle to survive. The money she earned barely covered her basic needs, and she found herself sinking deeper into poverty. She was living in a way that most people would find unimaginable, yet somehow, she seemed to be doing everything she could to make her situation worse. Meanwhile, Kyle, her ex-husband, wasn't faring much better. It wasn't long before his company went bankrupt. The business he had worked so hard to build collapsed, and he found himself without a job and without any means to support himself. His entire financial world crumbled in the blink of an eye, and I couldn't help but wonder if this was some sort of cosmic punishment. I couldn't say that I felt sorry for him. After all, he was the one who had walked away from his responsibilities just as much as she had. But I did feel a certain sympathy for him. Life can be unforgiving, especially when you've made poor decisions along the way. As for me and my husband, life had become simpler. We had moved to the countryside, away from the chaos. Our lives were much quieter now, and we spent our days enjoying the peace and tranquility that came with living in a rural area. It wasn't the kind of life I had imagined when I was younger, but it was fulfilling in its own way. We had our own small piece of the world. A place where we could find peace and happiness despite the turmoil that others were facing. There was no debt hanging over our heads, no financial instability, just the quiet contentment of knowing that we had made it. Sometimes I would think about my daughter-in-law and wonder if she would ever turn things around. I hoped that one day she would find the strength to take control of her life and stop relying on others for help. But I knew that it couldn't be me who saved her. She had to save herself. For now, though, my husband and I were content. We had our small life, and that was enough. We had learned that peace was more valuable than anything else, and that was something my daughter-in-law would need to learn for herself.